Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another professional best of 3 of StarCraft 2. Today we have a series between two players, one of which I don't cover very often, and the other one which I cover all the time. Starting with the less frequent player, in the bottom right is our blue Protoss. It is Cyan, the Chinese player who perhaps not a lot of people know about, but is pretty darn good at this game. And in the top left, spawning as our red Zerg, playing for Team DKZ Gaming. It is of course Dark. There we go. Dark, a mainstay here on the channel, versus Cyan. Now, Cyan's been around for a long time. I recall in 2016, I want to say, we had a big tournament in France, and I played Cyan in the first round. Back then I had never heard of him. I thought, nice, easy first round. I lost 2-3. That was my first experience I ever had with Cyan, so not a very positive one. I remember I didn't even know what he looked like before I had to play him. Like, we were just sitting in the player and I was like, oh, who's this guy? Who the hell is this guy? I had no clue who he was. He absolutely destroyed me in a PvP. 3-2, I recall. Yeah, it was in, I can't even recall what city it was. It was some small city in France, I think. Did not enjoy that experience very much at all. I also recall in that particular tournament that nothing was open. Like, legitimately nothing was open at night. It was a very, like, it was not a small city or a small town, but it wasn't big enough to have like a night shop or anything open, and you couldn't go out either. And all of us were jet lagged because we came back from DreamHack Austin, I believe, 5 or 6 days before. So we'd just be up all night and we'd be hungry and there would be nothing to eat. And I think DreamHack put all of us in this crappy Ibis budget hotel. God, that was an experience. Just recall walking around the city in France, no one speaking English. I was asking for night shops to get some food because we're hungry. It's a nice little start, by the way. Split up these adepts. But I had quite a bit of mining. Killed 4 drones here. 4 drones in the first 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Dark's not going to be sleeping too well here. After a loss like that. Oracle coming out. Double spores. That's a third queen. No second queen yet in the main base. This is the Dark special. He loves doing that. I still don't think it's very good, but Dark likes doing it, so you know, not gonna knock it. Not gonna knock it at all. This Oracle is having trouble finding anything. That's normal. You usually don't find too much damage with Oracles in the early game. At least not that I'm aware of. Double Adepts moving in towards the third base where there are 5 links waiting for them, but the Nexus will go down as these links will not be capable of doing anything about that. It's going to be double Oracle into Twilight Council. Third gateway? That's it. That's a third gate. I was just making sure that I had that right. It's a very quick third gas as well. Here for Dark, as well as a Roach War, and that can only mean one thing. He's going for a little bit of a Roach attack. Now, generally against glaive builds, I think Roach attacks can be quite good. This time it's really just all about whether Cyan scouts it. If he scouts it, gets 1 or 2 batteries, and then starts warping Stalkers rather than Adepts, I think his position is going to be just fine. He's moving across the map with these Adepts. He's going to see the Queen walk practically instantly as it starts moving. He has 6 Adepts, which is going to be nice against Lynx. Glaives might even finish up if he chrono boosts it one more time. Tries trading with queens in the middle of the map, which surely is a mistake, right? I might actually get a queen, which is nice. Okay, gonna lose 2 adepts for a queen. That's not really a good trade. Double batteries over here. We have a battery over at the third as well already. There's now stasis wards are being thrown down. Dark Shrine as a response, and I really do believe that Stalkers are going to be the kind of the missing link here. Ooh, Link's gonna get caught in that web. In that stasis ward. And there we go. 2 more adepts actually being warped in. Cyan has a different vision on how to defend than I do. And Glaives is about to finish up. That's going to give him quite a bit of damage. Especially against Lynx. Needs to rewall most likely here behind this. The cannon is about to finish up. This is double batteries. Dark Shrine 15 seconds away or so from finishing. It's double Oracles pumping. And this super battery is being active. What do we have right now when it comes to to money. We can warp in 2 DTs, I think, money-wise. 2 DTs is possible. So we see a shade away here from the third. That seems like a risky maneuver, because it might just mean that despite the DT warping, he's going to end up losing this base. Here come the DTs, and now it's on Dark here to just right-click this base. That's exactly what he's doing. Biles raining down from the sky, and this Nexus will fall. But... wait, double layer? That's a new move. Okay, so the DT defense here works out in the end. The only question... oh, wait, it's going to go across the map with all of these Glade Adepts as well. I think he's going to finish this shade, get a couple of kills there. Dark slightly out of position with them links. He's going to catch it in time. Hardly loses any drones. Nice movement there by Dark. SDTs, though, enter the natural. No Dark. Oh, I forgot about those, huh? Spore's going to get targeted down here as well. Oracles now can move in forward and scout where the next Spore is going to kind of try and land. These DTs not quite getting surrounded. This bad boy is going to end up dying. As another Spore wants to go up here on the third base. I wonder if you right-click that Spore. Yes, says Cyan. It does mean he's most likely going to lose these DTs. Oh, no. Chaos, destruction, and other bad things here happening to him. The third Oracle shows up. And that means that he can do quite a bit of damage because there's no Spore here. Ravager now under attack. Well, that Ravager stays alive. Cancel on the Glaive Adepts. 5 more on the way. We have that Nexus about to finish up. I think Cyan actually is in a very good spot. I think he's in a very, very playable spot. And I think it's a good one as well. I mean, look at this. He has insane infrastructure with, what is this, 7, 8 gates? This is 7 gates. +1 is on the way. Blink is coming out. He has those glaives. There are 3 oracles. And there's a very low queen count. And he's up 13 workers. This is just a good situation all around. Double shades now coming in. Do we even have any links over here at the third base? No. Could have definitely finished that. Gotten 5, 6 worker kills. Decided against it though. Decided against it. So now we have a shade towards the natural. Missed one of these creep tumors. Actually the most important one. As it's the active one. 4 overlords being... 5 overlords being pumped. Dark is a true pumper. When it comes to overlords. I also heard he works out at the gym. He's also a true pumper there. He pumps real hard. Dark does look like someone that would be good at arm wrestling as well. Just does it as a hobby, you know? I feel like arm wrestling is one of those things that... I'm sure it has a lot to do with strength, but... sometimes you look at these guys, they don't look that strong at all. Yet you know they would destroy you. I once met a guy at a tournament as well. Who was kind of small. Like, it's not very tall. It's a bit bigger. And then he would challenge everyone to arm wrestling. He really wanted to arm wrestle. Oh, arm wrestling. I was so afraid of like breaking my shoulder or something against this guy. He was just destroying everyone left, right, and center. People started taking their shirts off. Just so they could arm wrestle. I'm not sure why that is the case. When people arm wrestle, they take off their shirt. Maybe it restricts your movement less. This guy was destroying it. You could see that he had the technique as well. It felt a bit unfair, you know? It's like challenging people for something you know you're gonna win at. It's not really a challenge then, is it? It's like a walkover. Just like this game is, by the way. As Cyan is just blinking in here. He's gonna take game number 1. Something not a lot of people would have expected. And neither did I. Cyan with a quick win there. And it's nice to see always when the underdog wins the first map. It means that in game 2 and game 3, the upper... what's the upper dog? The up dog? The top dog. The top dog is going to be pooping his pants. And that's Dark in this. Although, I don't think Dark is much of a pants pooper, to be honest. I don't think he is. What was I talking about before? Right, the arm wrestling. Yeah, it feels a little bit unfair if you arm wrestle people and you know technique. You know, it just seems a little bit insidious in my mind. I don't think that should be allowed. It's the same... I always feel like martial artists have a great sense of responsibility when it comes to not being able to fight regulars or normies. You know, it's just simply unfair. Like, with great power comes great responsibility. And if you practice mixed martial arts or any type of martial arts whatsoever, and you go out in the weekend and start fighting people, that's a little bit It's not a cool move. It's the same with arm wrestling, I think. Like, because you know the little tricks and techniques, you know, little gimmicks that you might have picked up. It's completely unfair. These other people have no clue what they're in for. I could have broken my shoulder. So I'm not sure if you can break your shoulder. Is that something? I'm sure it's something you can break. Usually you don't really break it though. You dislocate it or something. I'm always very afraid of messing with my shoulder or my arm or my hands. You know, these guys are the money makers. We don't want to lose the ability to click buttons at a very high pace. There's going to be 2 links now running in towards the main. That's exciting. A Stargate is about to finish up here as well. Oh, there comes a surround. Very nice. Very nice. Science so far playing quite well. And as I say that, he's about to maybe lose a probe. No, micros it away. He's gonna lose this 100%. No, not 100%. Very nice. Does lose a bit of mining though. So that cost him. Is the adept finished up in... Wait, it died? There used to be an adept here. So I killed 2 links, lost an adept and lost a bit of mining time. That's going to be a negative trade here for our good friend Cyan, who once again goes with the adept stalker adept setup. Allows him to usually take out this overlord, but that ain't going to be the case this time around. And the reason for that is because he lost that first adept. He now can't cover the stalker. You need a unit in the wall, and you need a unit with your stalker in order to do this. Look at this. I think he's still kind of going for it. You know, he's looking for it, but I don't think he's finding it quite. I don't think he's quite gonna find it. And that means this overlord is going to be free. Maybe we'll get it later in an overlord or a phoenix, but for now, not the case. Not the case. Ooh, fleet beacon. Double gas. All right. Double Oracle, Fleet Beacon, 4 gas. I mean, we've all seen builds like this in the past. You know what I'm saying? We all have seen them. I think this is going to be a Tempest Rush. It is a gut feeling, but I think it's going to be a Tempest Rush. I've played some Tempest Rush on this map myself. It's because you have this type of area to enter. Usually people take this base and it makes this spot quite powerful. Dark, however, decided to actually go for the line bases. The reason why people usually take this as a 3rd and then this is a 4th or this is a 4th is because of the gold. You want to get that gold as a Zerg player, and that's not the case here. It's going to be a Tempest Rush indeed. As Dark here setting up for a standard game with a lair at a normal timing, with the Rotorn at a standard timing, and also with these gases being taken. A little, well, still quite quick actually. Usually you take the gases as you're fully saturated on your 3rd base already mineral-wise, so this is actually fairly fast. I wonder what that indicates. Sometimes you see Zergs do something out of the ordinary, and like, oh, that's weird. I wonder what it is, though, you know? And very often there's no real answer. Let's see how Cyan's going to do this. So far he's just saving up the Tempest in his main. He's getting the tectonic destabilizers. I think this is too late. I actually invested a lot of time in learning perfect Tempest theory, and I guess it's fine for him. So one of the things that is really cool with Tempest rushes like this is that if you get a mothership with it, you often hit faster. This sounds weird, but it's true. So if you get a mothership with it, you can have a recall on the other side of the map at 6 minutes and 40 seconds, is what I recall from my opening theory. And now he's going to start moving out at around that time. So this build is fairly inefficient, one could say. Fairly inefficient indeed. So for a mothership recall build, this tectonic destabilizers would simply be too late. Yet for this build, I think it's going to be fine. It's going to follow it up with Void Rays as well. I don't like this. I really don't, because it's going to hit at the 7-minute mark. So if Dark even just has an inkling, which he does, that this is going to be double Stargate or anything that he can play Mura against, he's going to be fine. He now doesn't see the Tempest yet. We have a move out towards the far left side. If this is Mura, it could be good for Tempest, man. No, don't go there with the Tempest. No, you don't need them defensively, bro. Okay, now it's going to be Corruptors 100%. So this Tempest Rush is He's dead on arrival. He's not gonna do anything. You know what's sick is that with 5 Tempest you can one-shot a Queen, and 5 Tempest with Tectonic Destabilizers one-shot a Spore. And I think you like 3 volley a hatchery or something insane. Like it's 5 Tempest is just a magical number. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. There we go. The first Queen going down, second Queen going down. Gonna be number 3. You're just right-clicking them like mad, and there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it. There goes a hit. You don't one-shot the Corruptors though. That's for sure. Gonna need to recall this. That's also definitely. It does not have energy. Yes, the energy. Okay, it's gonna recall now. Loses to Tempest. Very, very poor start here for Cyan, who will need to come to terms with the fact that he's now on crap tech. Has 3 Tempests which are going to be useless for the next 10 minutes, and decides to transition into a Blink build, which in and by itself is not so bad. Not necessarily opposed to Blink builds, of course. Actually kind of like Blink builds a lot of the time. That's what, 10 plus 5. 15 Corruptors here coming out. Double Voice also start pushing in forward. We have a bunch of links in production, 8 gases. I wonder if Dark's plan... I mean, he is sticking with these Corruptors for way too long, right? 17 Corruptors? That's a crazy number. That really is quite a... It ain't good, you know? That's not a good number. If you're fighting against 3 Tempest and 2 Void Rays, 17 Corruptors, that's a bit much. It's all going to be about the ground force. Like, the Tempest really are a supplement. Or they're going to really be a supplement. Right now, they're the main attraction. But they should be a supplement. And these Corruptors, they start peeing on these rocks. Rocks get taken out. Zealot makes its way around. We have a robotics facility here going up in the main base. We are on 6 gases with Templar Archives on the way. This army is strong. It's not crazy strong, you know? Yeah, I think it's not. I'm afraid that the stock count is too low. Yeah, here comes a very good set of piles on the pylon, on the super battery as well. All air units have gone down. These links not being here, it might look close. And it actually feels kind of close, but we have a bunch of random links still here. We have some links that are going to become active now. And these Corruptors going towards the main base and start peeing on every single building. And that simply means that you're going to lose a crap ton of infrastructure, and at the same time also losing that fourth base. And Dark figuring it out anyway. I really thought he was a bit heavy there on the Corruptors, but it all is alright in the end here for Dark. As he runs in, and it's going to take map number 2 here. It's going to be tying up this series. The moment Cyan decides that being down 100 supply is indeed too bad, and that it's impossible to come back. He warps in a couple more times. Like, you know what, maybe it's possible. Only down 106 supply. Don't have power of many of my structures in my main. But maybe with another Stalker Warpin I can truly do it. He is incorrect, of course, as we all know. I'm actually not quite sure if he's still in the game. He's even microing individual Stalkers. This guy's really feeling it. Maybe he's not aware that this is... No, okay. He's seen the 5 bases as well. Okay, well. I am not one to judge. He can do what he wants. Maybe he's collecting his stuff or something. He's wondering how good old Harstem hit a solid 25 seconds faster than him while still building a mothership with the same build. That's interesting. That's interesting indeed, Cyan. Might have wanted to check out my builder. That one's real good. GG gets called as Dark. Indeed. Ties up the series. After that failed attempt there out of Cyan of a Tempest Rush, we make it into game number 3. It's on a call map called Solaris. You know what the beauty is of Solaris? Is that this map is very good for Zerg. Actually, how the heck did this make it into the best of 3 map pool? Each player, for the people not aware, there's currently 9 maps in the competitive and also in the ladder map pool, which means you have 3 vetoes per best of 3. And 2 vetoes per best of 5. That's, of course, how it works. Now, usually that means that you veto the worst 3 maps for Protoss. And I'd say that Solaris generally is one of those 3 maps. I think the worst map by far is going to be Equilibrium. And then the second worst map is going to be Solaris. And I'm surprised to see this in. Because if you accidentally forget to veto it in your second veto, you should definitely veto it in your third veto. At least in my mind, you should. Adept is looking for something, and see if he'll find it. He's gonna get built. Oh, could have finished that actually. These 2 links weren't quite in time. As the Adept makes a move in towards the third base, he's gonna get, what, 1, 2 kills? Has lost a worker at home, I guess, to these links. Yeah. Overall, 4 links have died for the cost of 1 probe. I think that's an okay trade here. As long as the Adepts don't die. Okay, and 1 Adept died. Well, then it's not as great, but it's still playable. 4th Adept starts right now as well, so we have the Oracle coming out. Double shade onto the map. That is a wild move here. That definitely doesn't pay off. He's gonna lose both of these bad boys if he ain't... No, even if he is careful at this point. He's gonna lose the second Adept, or well, the third Adept that he loses. Needs to temporarily wall here with a battery as well. Taking a third base is going to be hell. If you're Dark in this position, I think a very fair play to go for is to just add in 7, 8 links. Is to go up to 12, 13 links total. Because your opponent is going to need to warp in a bunch of extra Adepts in that case. It's going to be real difficult. That is a third gate that's being thrown down here. Right in vision of that Overlord. That is kind of crazy. I don't quite understand why that is happening, but it is happening. We have the Oracle now moving into the dead space as well. I am not a huge fan here of the position that Cyan is in. I actually hate the position that he's in. He's walking into a supply block on top of all of this. You see the third Nexus now being thrown down. Nexus is like 30-40 seconds delayed. He's gonna go once again for a glaive build. I mean, it worked well in game number 1, but that was a special one, as Dark decided that it was Roach Queen Walk time. Yeah, I'm just having a very difficult time seeing how Cyan is going to be capable of dealing any damage here whatsoever. Wrong Oracle is in front. That means it's going to get attacked twice there by the Spore. 3 times is too much. As the Oracle goes down, only 3 drones will fall. Fake shade in here with the Adepts. He will not finish this. Nice. Yeah, this is a bad call. This is a really bad call. He ends up getting 1 extra kill on that and loses 4 Adepts. And that means that his follow-up attack with his Adepts is going to be way, way weaker. This is why usually when you're going for a glaive Adept attack, is that you don't finish your shades. Because glaive Adepts really only start becoming good at like 9-10 glaive Adepts. And if you lose 4 Adepts, all of a sudden you don't have 9, 10, 11 Adepts anymore. You're gonna be stuck with like 6, which can technically just be stopped by Queen Ling. Now Dark is playing it safe. He's getting a couple of roaches out, just in case. I like that, of course. He spotted that third base. Now sees that there's resonating glaives as well. But freaking Cyan can't even move up. Cyan is getting completely outplayed here by our Zerg. With the third Nexus still pumping. Probe after probe. I wonder if Dark's plan here is to go for a follow-up. You see 2 extra gases on 57 drones. No 4th base yet. I'm not sure if that's a mistake, whether he really wants a 4th base or not. These Adepts are gonna finish up, but hey, it's 6 Adepts. If you pull the drones, you give them a helmet, they're going to be fine, you know? He's dealt no damage at all. 4 drones go down against 6 extra Adepts. I think as Dark here, it's completely fair to look at this situation and say, hey, it's time for me to walk across the map, this time on 53 drones. Overall resources lost is 2,350 versus 1,218. Massively in favor here of Dark. Who is already on 5 gas, is going to have a crap ton of Ravagers. The only thing really lacking is the queen count. But then again, do you really need a lot of queens? Or do you even need any queens if there's just a single Oracle? I think the answer might be no. Dark's still saving up units though. It's going to be hiding some of them Ravagers here on the side. Cloud Reconstitution about to finish as well. Nice little attempt at surround. Doesn't quite work out. But the attempt definitely was there. Oracle now is going to spot this move out, I think at least. But that is very, very late. Actually, Dark is just very good at hiding as well. I think he spotted that Oracle and told himself, hey, I'm not going to walk through that vision. I'm just going to clear those rocks. And then go for it. Cyan here taking a forward phase despite being up 11 workers already. Stasis needs to hit. It's going to hit. It doesn't hit quite big enough, I don't think. Battery is going to be nice. Super... yeah. Oh, wow. Double batteries get taken out by a single set of biles. Stalkers get caught on the wrong side of the map here. Wrong side of the fight. Yes, this third base is toast. And I think that is actually pretty much it. A sad ending here to a series that felt like it had a lot of potential. But in the end, you just see Dark kind of turning it on there in game number 3 and game number 2 and saying, hey, this ain't it, buddy. You can't play like this against me. You know, that game 1 was fun, but I'm just much better. And that's really what was shown here in this little best of 3. Dark outclassing his opponent in some short games. And that's going to be it for me as well. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.